Guys, come on in, come on in. The title is not clickbait. Genuinely, what is inside this room is ridiculous. It is going to change PC gaming forever. I know that sounds like clickbait. I promise it's not. I'm amazed. I really am. And I'm going to share everything with you after a short word from this video sponsor. Introducing Sky Protect. Sky Protect is a smart new way to protect the home you love. Sky Protect blends together home insurance with smart tech that lets you keep an eye on things when out and about for complete peace of mind. You get a video doorbell, indoor camera, leak sensors, and security sensors all included, designed to stop small problems becoming big ones. Learn more about what Sky Protect can do for you today with the link down below. Guys, it's not clickbait, I promise. What Corsair have done today is genuinely something spectacular. It is the best thing I've seen at the show, and when I sort of first heard about it, I didn't understand. I thought it was boring. How wrong I was. Essentially, what we're finally able to do is to have an RGB PC, have all of these different crazy components in your system, but with pretty much no wires. No wires. So if you pretty much had any Corsair system before, you know that RGB fans have 1 or 2 cables per fan. If you want to have like a liquid cooler or something, you've got loads of fans on them as well, and you've got all these different cables. They all have to plug together. Maybe you're doing like a hydroX loop, that pretty much worst case scenario. You have so many cables. It's gone. That's the end of it. Which also means that Corsair's new products have kind of killed their own product line because now everything else is so bad in comparison. It's not that it's bad, it's just the cable management is awful. Allow me to demonstrate. This is very, very simple. This goes beyond the likes of what Lee and Lee are doing, where you have locking fans and that they connect together in daisy chain, because these actually clip together just like that. Semi-magnetically, you've also got some data context between them, but you can daisy chain 7 of these together. I mean, okay, technically it's not daisy chaining because you've got data going to each fan, and you can actually control every single device individually. This is the thing that's so special. Let's give you a proper run through of the products that are actually being announced though, starting with the ICUE Link. That's the whole name of the new system, but these are the ICUE Link QX RGBs. They come in black and white. They've got loads of different RGB all over it. Not only do you have a ring along the side, but you've also got the RGB along the back end as well. This is very similar to what we've seen from Lee and Lee as well with some of their fans, so there is some close competition, and these will come in black and white and 2 different sizes, 120 and 140. And of course the all important thing is that you can daisy chain or not daisy chain these together because you have ins and outs, whereas some of the components like the water cooling stuff that we discuss in a moment only does have an in, which is potentially a little bit annoying. But the thing you really need to understand is just how they all connect together. This is the brand new controller, the ICUE Link controller, and you have 2 different strings on this, and interestingly enough, it connects to your PC over USB 2, which is fine, is what we've seen before, but the way you power it is quite unusual. This is actually powered by PCIe power all the way up to 168 watts. 168 watts for accessories. Now, in Corsair's defense for this is not only future-proof, but it means if you want to do like a crazy water cooling loop, have all of your fans in your system and like multiple pumps, have like 2 different loops going on, one for your GPU, one for your CPU, then obviously you can do that. I'm not saying you're going to use 168, but it's pretty wild that that is the rated maximum. That's more than some of the latest NVIDIA graphics cards. But that's the ICUE controller anyway, or technically they're calling it the system hub because that sounds better, apparently. But the main thing really you need to know is to look out for the products that have ICUE Link in the name. So you also have these liquid coolers, you guessed it, they're called the ICUE Link H115i, and it also goes up to the H170 as well, H170i, 420mm if you want like a ridiculously big case. But I imagine you have all of these options fleshed out in the not too distant future. There won't be an LCD version available at launch, but you can just pop the head off and swap it out if you do want to do a future upgrade. It's standard PC Centric at this point. You're used to it. It's not even funny anymore. And here, I guess, is a preview of this future product, the LCD version. It doesn't look too different to what we've seen before, but it's a little bit lighter around the edge. Maybe there's going to be some RGB ability in the side of this as well. Watch this space. But of course, this stuff isn't magic. You are going to have some cables to actually connect this all together. And it's interesting to know what you get in the box. So if you buy a 3-pack of fans, I mean, there's only 2 here. I don't know what happened to the 3rd one. This is essentially what you'll get. 3 fans that you'll daisy chain together, and then there's 1 cable. But if you were to go for 3 old-fashioned fans, as you guys almost certainly know, it would look like this. Plus you'd need a hub to connect it all together as well. So a dramatic difference to say the least. Oh no, wait, sorry, I almost forgot to say as well, they are also selling additional cables as add-ons if you want to do anything a little bit different, maybe have fans in different places. It's genius from a business point of view. They're now going to sell you cables. And of course, one of those applications for the extra cables is going to be water cooling. And this is the new range of hydroX. There's actually quite a lot on offer here. Nice to see it refreshed. They look a lot bigger, but they're actually not, because what you had before was the mount and the pump was visible, whereas now it's all one unit. And I think the whole thing does look nicer as a result. They have also incorporated the temperature sensor within the pump itself as well, so you don't need to like screw one in. That admittedly was a little bit annoying before. It's all part of the same system. You can get the reading through that one cable, which is quite cool. And the RGB LEDs have also been moved down the bottom. This is not only an aesthetic change, but it's going to mean that there's less risk of them getting wet when you're actually filling up your pump and potentially ruining your RGB LEDs. But they've also got some new CPU blocks, and it's nice to see that we have an LCD version on the way, because this was of course one of the downsides, if you like, and I guess an AIO was technically better for some people. If you wanted to have this sort of thing in your rig, you weren't able to do it before. You're going to have like a block like this where you could see into it, which was cool, but you weren't able to get that display readout. It's nice now that you do get that option. Pretty cool, makes sense. But then they've also now got this hybrid blocks, and one of the problems that they were saying with producing water blocks is that it's very expensive to do, and if you're not going to sell enough of them, then you can't really produce them. And because there are so many different graphics cards out there, so many different combinations, having a block that would be specific for all of them and having loads of different SKUs was just never really going to work. So now they're bringing this out where you could have, say, like an RTX 4070 block that would work for all of them, because the GPU itself is still cooled by the water, but then you've got a fan in here that will actually cool the rest of the PCB or memory, those sorts of things. I'll be interested to test thermals. They say that it should actually be about the same as their other native blocks, which is pretty cool, but maybe you'll have a little bit of noise going on. They didn't say that last bit, that's me speculating. I mean, if there's an extra fan that is extra noise in your system, I should also point out that they are also doing an LCD version of the pump, but rather amusingly, when it's actually switched off, it looks like a face going. But if you're after something a little bit more serious, how about the most serious kit of memory that Corsair are going to sell? This is new. This is the Dominator Titanium. You've got a whole new look. You've got faster speeds. We've actually got it here running at, what's that? 8,266 megahertz. Overclocked. That is pretty cool. Not sure that's going to be standard. In terms of the speeds you get, you're looking 6,000 megahertz plus. You've got an AMD Expo kit. They'll come in grey, and then you've got black and white in Intel. I guess if they all sell, they'll probably start doing different colors of each different SKU and things. But at the moment, if you want to do like a white AMD with this, then you'd have to go for the Intel kit. But something that you can do, and that they're actually showing off, is that you can now take the top piece of the RAM off, and you've got the little LED that sits in there. And then you can actually either 3D print or buy different tops for this. You can make it lower profile, you can make it crazy. If you're super high end, you could even get something completely custom. So here you've got some like 3D printed things or some CNC designed tops for your RAM. There's quite a few different options available. It's pretty much above and beyond what I would do with my memory, but it is definitely nice to have the option. But let's leave the mess to the side for someone else to clear up and go and actually see this full rig in action. Because once you put all of this together, usually you'd have that huge cable clutter and that mess. I love the look of this system. This is actually like a white watercolor one with all of the new fans. We've got the new cooler. But importantly, when you come round the side, you see this fully kitted out rig that's actually got push-pull radiators at the top. This is fully kitted out with everything. Look at the mess. Like Gordon Ramsay would say, look at the mess. There is no mess. Obviously, this is above and beyond show builds to get the best cable management possible, but it does show you the lack of all of those horrible cables that you'd have if you had all of those fans. Just imagine the amount of cables from, what's that, 13, 14 fans? You'd have 28 cables that you'd have to stash in all these controllers. Here they're doing it off of a single box. That 14 2x7 string of everything daisy chaining together, I think that's incredible. That is remarkable. And there's so much here at Computex, right? There's all these crazy things, but something as simple as this that can actually be implemented into every PC build, I think is brilliant. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Is this something that you are going to be building? Is this the future? Is this something everyone else is going to copy? Or do you think maybe the cost of entry might be a little bit too high? Do you think it's going to take too long for this to trickle down? And ultimately, is Corsair sort of killing off all of their products and they're going to have to work quick to refresh everything when they've got these new boxes? I'd love to hear your thoughts thoughts on this, but smash the like button if you've enjoyed this, get yourself subscribed, and if you do want to check out current pricing on anything really featured here today, you can find it linked down below with my Amazon affiliate links, when it's available. And while you're searching down there, why not check out Sky Protect? Sky Protect is a genius new way of protecting your home, combining exclusive smart home tech with home insurance. Security cameras and sensors can get very expensive, which is exactly why Sky bundle £250 worth of smart tech with Sky Protect home insurance. Perfect for keeping an eye on your home when you're away. Protect the things you love with Sky. Learn more with the link down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. We'll catch you in the next one.